So today we are going to be starting a one-point perspective city, and it's going to be a two-part because it's a little more detailed than what we have for our short amount of time. So what you're going to need today is a ruler, straight edge, something that you can use to make a straight line, a pencil, and an eraser, and that's it. And then of course your paper. So the first thing we're going to start with is the horizon line, and this is going to be where the sky meets the ground. Now when I draw my horizon line, I like it to be somewhere above the halfway point, okay? Because then that gives me lots of room down here to add my city. So the higher up, the more space you have it, just so you know. So I'm going to draw my horizon line just slightly above the halfway point, and you're going to draw it from one edge to the other, okay? And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a vanishing point. And for this purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to draw mine over here slightly to the right of the halfway point. But technically, you can have that vanishing point anywhere on this horizon line that you want, okay? And then we're going to start off with our road. So we're going to be drawing a line from the vanishing point off the edge of the paper, and this is called a receding line. So you're going to have lines that are vertical, you're going to have lines that are horizontal, but anything diagonal is going to go to the vanishing point, and those are called receding lines. So I'm going to draw the other side of my road, and if you look at it, it's going to almost have like a tree shape. It's going to get smaller the farther away it goes from you. So similar to a real road, which you know as you're driving, the sides stay the same. They're parallel all the way along. But when you're trying to draw something that's three-dimensional looking on a flat 2D surface, that's where that vanishing point comes in, because you want it to be wider, closest to you, and then the farther it goes, and it appears that it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller until it disappears. So I am also going to add my little sidewalks to either side. You do not have to do this. And then we are going to draw two buildings together, and then I'll kind of start another one for you so you can do one on your own before next week. So my first building I'm going to draw is right over here on this left side, and I'm going to have mine below the horizon line so you can see the roof. So whenever you start with one-point perspective buildings, you're just going to start with a real basic building, okay? Like a rectangle, square, any kind of shape like that. So I don't have to use any of my vanishing points, anything like that. So once I have that, then the rule is the corners that are closest to the vanishing point, you're going to connect with those receding lines. So I'm going to start with this bottom right corner. I'm matching it up to my vanishing point, and then I'm going to draw my line all the way there. Okay? Then I'm going to go to this top right corner, match it to my vanishing point, and draw a line. And then the top left, match it to my vanishing point, and draw a line. So this has three receding lines, okay? Now you'll have a plane up here and a plane over here. So this is gonna be the side and the top. So I'm gonna do the side first. And the thing is, you want this line and this line to be parallel. So the farther you stretch it, the farther away it is, the larger the building. So I'm going to have mine about here, my ruler and my line are parallel, and I'm just going to draw a line within that plane, okay? So just in this section here. Then I'll do the same thing at the top. Make sure my line, or my ruler and my line are parallel, and then draw my line, okay? So now I have a little building, and then I like to erase those extra lines, those receding lines, as I go so it's not confusing, okay? So you have one really basic building, okay? Now we're gonna start a second building, and the second building is gonna be right beside this, but this time it's gonna be a taller building, so it's gonna go through the horizon line. So I'm gonna start off with my rectangle before. So my rectangle, the bottom of it's gonna kind of be behind this building so you won't see it. So I'll just draw my little line out. I'm just gonna imagine the other part goes back here. Then I'm gonna take my vertical line, go through that, a horizon line, And then I'm gonna pretend like this one goes back here to about there. I'll have another vertical line and then another line at the top, so the top of my building. Okay, so technically you could erase this horizon line because the building would cover that up. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing. The corners that are closest to the vanishing point, you will connect with a receding line. So we'll start with this bottom right corner, match it up to my vanishing point, draw my line. My top right corner, match it up to my vanishing point and draw a line. And I wouldn't have this one because it would be behind. And then what I did with this last one with the far end line, I want those to be parallel. So I'm gonna make sure my ruler and that original line are parallel when I draw a far end line in that plane. And I can erase this. I'll erase my extra horizon lines. And I've got two buildings. Okay, and I'm gonna have another building here on the right, but you're just gonna see a part of it. So I'm gonna have a horizontal line going out there, a vertical line, and this one's gonna be a tall building, so it's gonna go past the horizon line. Okay, and then I want you to do that on your own. You wanna connect the corners closest to the vanishing point and draw a line. Okay, if you want to get a few doors and windows started before next week, I'm going to show you how to do it. So if you have any doors or windows, anything on this original shape, you see that it has right angles, then you would just draw them like you normally would. So you don't have to use your vanishing point or anything like that. So let's say these are my windows. That would be similar distance. It's a little off, that's okay. And I can have lines in here and so on. So I just drew it like I normally would. Now, if I want a door or window on this side, I'm gonna have to do something a little different. So I'm gonna add a door. So since it's a door, I want it to start at the very bottom here. And I'm gonna draw a vertical line up. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side and draw a vertical line up. Okay, so the bottom here is already done, but for the top, I need to use my vanishing point. So I make sure my vanishing point and my ruler match up, and I'm gonna draw a line from one line to the other, okay? Notice I did not draw my line all the way there. That would be a whole lot of erasing that is not necessary. And then if you want it to be like a double door, you just can add another vertical line, and you can have handles, little details like that. Okay, so we'll work on this a little bit more next week. So all you need to do for today, if you want to add windows, you can, and then I want you to finish this third building over here to the right.